Hi everyone, Erica here from Violet Filled Threads. I'm here to show you today how easy skirt plackets can be. Skirt plackets are very important sometimes to have in a garment that's slim fitting. It enables you to take the dress on and off of your child with ease. So let's walk through the basic steps of sewing a skirt placket. You're going to need a few supplies. You're going to need sewing pins, a ruler, and a rotary cutter or a pair of scissors. So I already have my skirt and my skirt placket cut out. So the first thing you want to do is find the center point of the back skirt. So I have my skirt folded in half, and I'm going to find the center, and I'm going to mark it with a sewing pin. Once you've marked the skirt back, open it up and lay it flat in front of you. The next thing you're going to do is you can remove your pin, take a ruler, and you want to measure down the skirt middle by 3 inches. You're going to cut that 3 inches open. I'm going to use my rotary blade. If you're nervous about getting it exactly 3 inches, you can always measure down, create a chalk line, and then remove your ruler and cut it with a pair of scissors too. Now that you have the 3-inch cut in your skirt, you want to fold the cut edges open and finger press them flat to create a straight edge across the bottom. Then you're going to take your placket piece and lay it right on top of the straight edge that you've created. You want the right side of the placket to touch the wrong side of the skirt. You're going to pin it directly to the skirt along this cut edge. The pinning gets a little tricky when you get to the very center of the cut. You just pull it up, you'll notice it creates a tiny pinch where you pin. But that's okay, because that pinch is not going to be noticeable at all on your finished garment. It's pinned all the way across, creating this small pinch in the center. Now we're going to take it to the sewing machine and we're going to sew right across this edge using a 1/8 inch seam allowance. We use a 1/8 inch seam allowance because that allows this tiny pinched fabric to be kept to a minimum. It's important to straighten the fabric as you sew so that less gets caught in the center. As you can see, it's sewn along both edges. From the right side of the skirt, it created a tiny pinch right at the center of the placket. But like I said before, on the finished garment, it's not going to be noticeable at all. So we want to iron the seam allowance that we just created with our 1/8 inch stitch line up towards the placket. Next, we want to take the top raw edge of the placket and iron it down 1 inch. It's 1 inch. Now take the folded top edge of the placket and fold it down until it just covers over the stitch line on the skirt. As you can see, the stitches are covered. This is the front side. And from the back side, the raw edges are now fully enclosed. Now we're going to pin this down. Okay, now that it's pinned, we're going to sew to secure it. You're going to want to sew right along the folded edge to secure the placket to the skirt. So now that the placket is sewn on, let me show you how to fold it closed. Lay your skirt out flat. You'll notice the placket kind of folds to either side. So what you want to do is have one side up, and the other side is going to close right open. It can go either direction, depending on which way your bodice closes. Typically, on Violet Filled Threads patterns, our bodices close this way. Okay, now we've ironed the placket flat, and if you notice the bottom where it looked puckered before, it's hardly even noticeable now. And once the skirt's on the bodice and it's gathered, it's seriously not going to be noticeable at all. So the very last thing you're going to do is with your rotary cutter or your scissors, you can cut off the top edges of the placket that extended past the top edge of your skirt. And now you've created a beautiful placket. Do you see how easy that was? If you've ever avoided a pattern because you've been nervous about installing the skirt placket, We hope you'll watch this tutorial again. You can even practice on some scrap fabric until you feel you've perfected the method. And then before you know it, you're going to be putting plackets on everything.